check 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. What up? What up? What up? We are back again with another reaction video, man. And today, unlike the last reaction video, we're actually gonna be reacting to a post today by one of my fellow content creators and peers, Thrive Gaming. He's a partner content creator on Facebook Gaming, and he put up a very interesting post yesterday. And I just want to put my input on the post because the topic that he discussed with it was very interesting, and it needs to be highlighted and brought up more, yo. Without further ado, man, let's take a look at this post. So yesterday, Thrive posted, "Trigger warning. It's wild that people in my community will try and shame and joke about people who didn't grow up struggling like others. Like, how you shaming me because I grew up with both parents at home? That's a W. I want to have a long, beautiful marriage and raise kids in that household one day too." And that's how it should be, honest and truly. I mean, take all the side chick, the wickedness, take all this mentality that we have today. You know what I'm saying? Like, being in a relationship and having both parents in a household and raising your kids is a negative thing. You have to struggle. You have to have baby mama, baby father driver. You have to be a single parent. Take all of that, all those shackles off you, and realize this is how it should be. You know what I'm saying? Like, it statistically shows that it's better for a child to have both parents in the household. Not saying that if you grew up with with just a single parent, your mother or just your father, that it's not necessarily a negative thing, but it statistically has been shown that both parents in a household can do a lot of good for children. You know what I'm saying? To see that masculine energy and that feminine energy. And it also inspires children to what they want to have in their relationship when they grow up and, do the same process, having kids and stuff like that. So that's been proven. That's a fact. And we know how, it goes to the point where he says, "My people," it's been historically shown that it's always been a way to try to separate us in the household. Whether it be, if you take it back to slavery, they didn't want the man around in the household. Even growing up in modern times, like when I was growing up, man, if you was on like Section 8 or HUD and stuff like that, you can get any assistance from the government, but you couldn't have a man in the household. You know what I'm saying? There's been stories of men having to hide their shoes when they come and inspect the house, because if they detect a man in the household, the government will not assist you. No matter what your living state is. If you're in poverty, stuff like that. So yes, that's how it should be. I personally feel like that's how it should be. Now, it's not always that way, but we need to see more of that. It is not a myth. It is not no imagination. It is not nothing that is not obtainable. I am living proof of this now. I've been married. I have 3 children with the same woman for going on 12 years, yo. 12 years. We have 3 beautiful children. We're still together. We still have a foundation that we built together. And I couldn't see it any way different, because without her, I feel like I wouldn't be able to do this. Like, she backs me and I back her. And it's ups and downs in a relationship, because you gotta understand, you have 2 personalities, 2 souls coming together, and there's gonna be clashes, you know what I'm saying? But we work on that and we set a foundation and we built off of that. And that's how we're able to stay together. And that's what our grandparents have done, great grandparents, go on and so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? So that is a big thing. But let's keep reading. People be like, "You ain't from the gutter." I'd be like, "Nope. My parents grew up poor and worked hard to make sure I didn't have to." Not saying yours not working hard. The neighborhood I grew up in wasn't suburbs, but it wasn't Compton. Thank God. That's a W. All praise to the Most High. When did struggle and pain become a brag? I feel like it's only us who get cool points for going through some trauma. Struggle and pain has become a brag due to society standards. I mean, hip hop artists promote this. You're not cool, you're not edgy, you're not, that top dog, that alpha male, if you're not going through some type of negativity. You got to be, going through it. Your validation, your points, and your rep goes on how much trauma you've been through. You know what I'm saying? And if you didn't go through any trauma, then your validation is nothing. And that's promoted in movies, that's promoted in hip hop. We flip good to bad and bad to good. And if you do the opposite of that, if you don't go through no traumas, your parents took care of you, they made sure they kept you away from the evils of this world, then you're considered corny, lame, sheltered is a good word that's commonly thrown around, all the above. And that's been going on for decades. That agenda has been out here for centuries. I say decades, centuries, man, because that's the way it has to be for this agenda that keeps succeeding, man. I was a product of that. I did grow up in the hood. My parents, they made the best of what they could, and you know, I would always want to be in the house. I didn't want to go outside and be in the streets and stuff like that. And I would be called lame. I would be called corny because I wanted to play video games or watch cartoons. It actually made me stop watching anime because I was told like, oh, real N words. You know what I'm saying? We don't do stuff like that, man. We don't watch that stuff. We do this, we do that, and we're influenced by hip hop and these artists who tell us to do all these things, and they don't even live that. You know what I'm saying? These artists live like how we should be living. They have their wife, their children. They're in a household. They don't even let their children listen to their music. You know what I'm saying? But we worshiping and idolizing them for the things that they don't do. You know what I'm saying? So the game has always been twisted and sauced up, man. Um, Let me see. People who make it out and are able to provide better lives for their families should be applauded. I used to get called corny because I wanted to go to college. They said you trying to get a white boy's education. You mean me going Norfolk State University, a HBCU, historically black university, surrounded by black excellence? If that's being white, then sure. Goes back to that same thing, man. If you talk without ebonics, you're looked at as white. That's white talk. White is good, black is bad. Like that's the conditioning that has been bestowed upon us, man. And one thing, not to, double down on all negativity of today's times, I can see a lot of people are starting to come up out of that and get out of that mindset, but we still got a lot of work to do as a people, man, because that is still out there. You use proper words, or, you try to educate yourself more, or you eat differently. Like if you stop eating certain foods, because you're trying to be healthy, people are quick to highlight what you do eat. Well, you don't eat pork. Oh, I don't eat pork. Well, you eat this and that's worse than that. Yo, you do this and that's worse than that. And it's like, I commend or applaud anybody that's trying to do anything that will, help them better themselves, man. So if you want to stop eating something or doing something because you feel like you as an individual need that for you to keep progressing in your life, I want to applaud that. But too often, man, as soon as you say you're not doing something or you're going to do without something, we're quick to, oh, why? Why? Because, we're projecting our insecurities because we're doing that onto you. So we want to make you feel down so you won't go on your journey so you can stay the same because we're comfortable in that position. That's how the human brain is. The human brain loves being comfortable. The human brain does not like, fast, quick, like shifts. You know what I'm saying? We're so programmed to just, everything has to be as I wake up, I go to bed, I do this, I do that, and I'm comfortable. As soon as something get in, we react differently. That's where depression, anxiety, all that stuff comes from. You know what I'm saying? So that's crazy. Being white. It's a lot of things in the world annoy me, and that's one of them. I want to see my people thrive in every aspect of life. The crab in the barrel mentality is still alive and kicking. I'll be fighting against it until the end. If you don't like this post, then the shoe must fit. I know there are a lot of things we as a people are fighting against on daily, but fighting this ain't the way either. Even if it's a joke, it's so backwards and unhealthy. Thrive out. That was an amazing post, man, and it really caught my attention yesterday, man. He highlighted a lot of key points, man. We got to do better, man. We got to do better, and we will do better, man. We will do better. I believe for it, man. I pray for it every day, man. I pray the people around me, wake up out of this slumber of what's good is bad and what's bad is good. I pray we get out of that, that mindset, because at the end of the day, it's not making us any happier. We're following the rules of this world. It's not making us any happier. Like if you look around, people are not happier. You know what I'm saying? Anxiety, depression is at the highest it's ever been. It's always been there, but you see it more and more and more daily. And people can say, well, that's just social media. It's highlighted more. No, people are having identity crisis because they're doing things that they morally feel like with inside. We all have that light within inside us that tells us this isn't right. It shouldn't be like this. I can attest to that, man. When I was growing up, and I'm gonna end this video, when I was growing up, I got committed and married at a young age. You know what I'm saying? I knew within my heart this is what I wanted. And my peers around me, they were still in their phase. So today they call it a city girl phase or city boy, whatever. You know what I'm saying? They're still going through their phases. And they would try to persuade me to, come on, man, you gotta, and it's like, I don't want to do that stuff. I don't feel like that's right. And I would lose some friends due to, the path that I chose. Like I chose to be in a committed relationship. I didn't choose to, be with this woman, this woman, this woman, this woman, this woman, and, have all this stuff. Like I was like, yo, and then not to mention we're having a kid together too. Like I don't want to grow up in a separate household. Like I didn't grow up that way. So I made sure my children wouldn't grow up that way. You know what I'm saying? Whatever problems we have, we're going to stand 10 toes down and figure that out as man and woman. You know what I'm saying? And as I gotten older and we stayed committed and our bond grew stronger, and it's been ups and downs. You know what I'm saying? People equate good to being perfect, and nobody's perfect except the Most High Yah up above. You know what I'm saying? So when people compare good, they automatically think perfection. Our relationship is far from perfect. It's good, but it's far from perfect. You know what I'm saying? We have our ups and downs. We have phases, but we had to, build our foundation. Long as you have that foundation, everything else will fall below. You know what I'm saying? And with that, when we started building our foundation more and our bonds started growing tighter, the people around me who were still going through these phases, man, they were idolizing, looking at us like, man, I gotta give it up to you, man. Like y'all stayed humble, y'all kept doing y'all thing all these years. Like I want that, and it just goes to show for me that this is the right thing, because as we stayed in it and I went through these trials, I can only imagine the trials they were going through by doing the things that they were doing. And now, as we gotten older, I see a lot of my friends are settling down, or they're unhappy because they don't have nobody. You know what I'm saying? And they don't have nobody because they chose to do things that were deemed fun or cool or interesting. But it's like, it's basically soul killing, man. Like deep down, your soul doesn't want that stuff, yo. We can debate on that if you want to, but like the proof is in the depression. You know what I'm saying? The proof is there. Like they want this. This is what they like. They love it. Deep down inside, I feel like everybody wants something like that. Everybody wants somebody, to settle down with. And I personally feel like that's how it should be. So let me know what you think in the comments below, man. Thank you for tuning into this reaction video, man. God bless, man. And y'all be good, man. Peace.